You're watching Double O'Neill. I'm Tris, and I recently took a trip over to Tony's Trains of Rugby. I travelled there not only to see Tony, but to pick up the new Dapol Great Western Railway 262 Prairie. Luckily, Tony had the one that I was after in stock, and I had to buy it. I took the loco down to my father's layout, as mine is in somewhat of a reconstruction, and we had a look at it. Dapol's packaging is of great quality, and with the shiny outer box and what feels like a vacuum seal as you're opening it, we find the loco packaged in a clear sleeve blister, which is further protected with some open cell foam. The normal style of blister pack is opened up to reveal a great looking model of the Prairie. Within the packaging, you will also get the tool for opening the smoke box doors so we can access the DCC decoder area, as well as a speaker enclosure, front coupling, and some cabside plates, which for me are a great addition to, as they just look nicer than the painted ones that are on the loco. When in my hands, the loco has a nice weight to it, and the paintwork is finished to a very high standard. There is a nice amount of lateral movement on the wheels, which will help me with my areas of layout where the track isn't laid so well, so it compensates for that, doesn't it? The cab area is very detailed as well, as we come to expect on our modern day locos. It's hard to accept now when things aren't painted. For the money that we're paying, it's looking great. I'll be adding a crew at some point, not for this review, but at some point. A nice touch is the red valve gear. Well, you can kind of see it. I've got some pictures from the underside, just so you can see a bit of red. But it makes you smile when, you see it there. It's kind of like, oh, cool. They put that effort in. It has the usual sprung buffers and NEM pockets for your couplings. And there's no mould line on top of the boiler, which is great, as it's always been an annoyance when I've seen it on other locos. And we're in the modern age when that could actually get sorted out. Why leave it on there and have everything else look so great? So, top job for getting rid of it. If it was there to begin with, who knows, it was moulded differently. The rivet detail is crisp, and it stands out for me, which is something that I like anyway. It just pops. And then the coal load looks nice, but I will be changing that for a real coal load because that's what I like to do. One area that was pointed out to me by a gentleman named John, and no, it's not my father, for those that wonder, but it was to point out that the cylinder bars should be straight, but these ones flare out instead at the ends. Looking at the Great Western Railway 2-cylinder locos, I can only find that they are straight on all of those pictures. So I do wonder what the reasons are on this loco, why the angled bars, they're straight and then flare out, like the 4-cylinder Castle, Stars and Kings. Why is it like that? So hopefully someone will enlighten me in the comments below. If not, it'd be interesting to find out at some point. Now, moving to the fun of running the loco, using firstly a normal DC pulsed system and then a compensation type, which my dad calls comp speed, where it pulses in extra power when it's suffering of not moving. I found it worked better with DC on the system. It was much better. I guess it shows how good the modern motors are. Anyway, running the Prairie for 30 minutes in each direction did well for the locos running, because initially when I first got it going, it was a little bit, I don't know, you could call it sticky, I guess, but that's natural. It is a new loco. So I ran it around forwards and backwards, and I played with a lovely little loco that my dad had running around on the layout at the time. Anyway, powering the model is a 5-pole skew-wheel motor with a flywheel to help the smooth running. The gear set drops down through the chassis to drive the rear wheel set. And then you've got 2 sets of pony trucks, one each end. I thought maybe they'd have pickups on, but it's only the 6 driving wheels that do in the centre. I think for smooth running, having the pony trucks powered would have been nice. Obviously, some of our track isn't very good, and it's always good to have more wheels in contact, giving you electricity. But I do understand that might be difficult. Moving to a low test, I decided to use my father's heavy Pico metal bodied wagons. On my last review, we used them on the Rapido Trains model railway modeler, pannier. The Prairie did a great job at pulling them. Honestly, it pulled away, no effort, well, a tiny bit of effort like anything would, but it showed the strength, as some other things have kind of you have to work hard to pull all of that. I had heard some reports that the Loco had a weak motor, but I was pleased to find out that wasn't true. So that's great. I also have 2 other friends that have this Loco who've had no issues so far. So I think that might help with that question. Moving to pick up a pair of coaches, I spent some time enjoying the Loco on my father's layout and took a lot of delight in recording some great running shots as it came through just handsomely through the railway. All those shots. It's great. The Prairie class began with the first prototype being called number 99 in 1903, which was then renumbered 3100. In 1905 to 1906, 39 more Prairies were made in the series numbering 3111 to 3149. Then in 1906 to 1908, 41 more were made, where larger boilers won, and they were numbered 3150 to 3190. The original 3100 to 3149s were renumbered to 5100 and 5111, which is what we've got these ones coming up here. So then it went from 5111 to 5149. So it's just, whereas this one's 5129. So that's kind of cool. And that was later on in 1927 when the axle loading was reduced. So the class was highly successful, and as the class numbers available were running out, 10 were actually numbered 6160 to 6169 in 1935. It looks like another 80 were made between 1935 and 1948, numbered 4100 to 4180. It also looks like in 1931 and 1935, numbers 6100 and 6169 were produced with the boiler pressures raised to 225 pounds from 200 pounds. So from reading this, and please correct me if I'm wrong, over the 50 years of that development of the Loco, the Prairie's number, obviously from 99 up to 61, 69, there's a lot gone in there, which is fantastic. And, let me know if I've missed any details about the Prairies, but in the book that I had, it seemed like it covered most things. The main difference you can visually see from the original ones to what we've got here is a modern day one, well, as modern as you can call it, is you can see there's a curved frame on the front now, but on the original ones they had a square edged front, so it's a square frame, that's interesting to look. And the outside steam pipes are on the later ones, whereas the early ones they were hidden, so that's very interesting indeed. Going back to the model, I spent about 3 hours running this Loco to the point of making this review, and it hasn't given me cause to be concerned. It's honestly a very good looking Loco. It's based off the real life one, which looks great, and they've done a fantastic model of the prototype. I would like to know a bit more about the cylinder bars and why they are flared out, but that's only a small tiny point for me. The rest of it is amazing. I don't have a recording of the firebox flicker, but it's there. It's quite small, it's quite hard to see, but it's there. It looks nice, and that runs on DC when it's going around, which is fantastic. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Dapol will do with the Manor class that's coming out. I do love the Great Western Railway locos because, that's the one thing that I'm into, and I'm hoping that they'll keep creating these locos for us to enjoy in the future. Anyway, please leave me some feedback below about your experience with the Loco. So I'd like to end this with saying thank you to my patrons and channel members. If you'd like to become one, the links are below. If not, become a subscriber. It's free, and you can see what else I get up to on this channel. I have a lot of fun with the model railways, and I hope that's something that I can bring to you to help improve your experience as well. Maybe learn something along the way, either a review about something or how to do something. I'd like to say thank you again. You take care, all of you, and speak to you soon. Bye bye.